Hey everybody, Tom Bullington here again with Coldwell Banker Realty. Hope you're doing great today. Now, my very favorite type of buyer is, as you might have guessed, the first-time home buyer. And there's a lot of reasons behind that, and I guess some of them are just sentimental. I remember when I was a first-time home buyer with my wife, and it was 1991, and we bought a little town home in Phoenix for $63,000, and it was a three-bedroom, three-bath townhome. It was actually a pretty nice place and a nice neighborhood and everything. And I was like, this is too nice. I felt guilty that I had too nice of a place, a $63,000 house. It was a bank owned home, so we got a really good deal on it. And we actually got to choose between, I think, two or three different styles and colors of carpeting. I think pretty much it was either brown or beige or tan. So we picked the tan and we were all thrilled. The renter that was in there beforehand was a heavy smoker, so we had it freshly painted. And then we moved in and we got married shortly before that. And it was a wonderful experience. So I remember my realtor at the time was a great guy, was very helpful, took pity on the young married people to go out, was very patient to go out and look at homes. Now, we were kind of in the market essentially for a townhome or a condo sort of situation. So we ended up with a townhome. A lot of times, first-time home buyers, even here in the Midwest, end up with a townhome or a smaller home. Depends on your income, it depends on your credit rating and things like that. So along those lines, before you go out and start looking at a home with an agent, the first thing you should do is talk to a lender. And so that could be at your bank, that could be at your credit union. You could find something online. I don't necessarily recommend that, but I would go with a also a mortgage company that has a lot of different connections to different lending sources, the loan sources that can figure out the best loan for you, the best interest rate, money down, all of that. So, as an agent, I don't necessarily get into the details of what your money is. The lender just sends me a note and says, okay, Bob and Susan can afford X thousand dollars. So that's all I really rely on. I don't need to know your personal financial history or your personal financial resources, your jobs, or anything like that. My job is to find you the best home that you can afford, that your lender thinks you can afford, and go from there. So, having said that, once you have a loan approval letter from a lender, we go out and we look at a home, various homes typically. Don't fall in love with the first one that you see because you're excited about getting a new home. But I do take you out and we go and look at homes. We set up a showing and go and look at it. Typically takes about 30 to 45 minutes to look at a home, decide if you'd like to make an offer on it. If after a couple days we've seen homes and you don't see anything you like, we can surely continue to look over the next couple days to weeks. But if you do see something that maybe it's like, okay, maybe we can adjust our price range a little bit, or maybe we're asking for too much. Maybe we don't need the four bedrooms, we just need three bedrooms. It really depends on what you have, what your family situation is, if you have kids, etc. How big the kitchen is, the garage, all of these things play into whether or not you're going to like a house and be able to live there for a number of years comfortably. So, once we find a house, though, the very first thing we do is we make an offer. And when I make an offer, I attach that loan approval letter that you've got from your lender, and we decide what the asking price is going to be. We decide if you're going to do an inspection or not. And I definitely recommend, highly recommend, every buyer do an inspection of the home that you're about to spend 300, $400,000 on, or whatever amount. I definitely recommend that you have an inspection. So I help you line up an inspector. And then we decide how much money you're going to put down as far as earnest money, non-refundable earnest money. And then what day you want to close. Let's just say it's January 1st. Typically, you're going to close probably sometime in either late January or early to mid-February. An inspection time period is about 7 days. Let's just imagine that the inspection goes well. You move forward, you buy the house, you would close and then move in. You get the keys within about 30 to 45 days is the typical amount that you would move in. So that's really it. So the number one thing to do before you go out with an agent, before you start looking at open houses, is to make sure that you have a approval letter from your lender, a pre-approval letter from your lender. That lender will work with you as far as the type of financing you're going to have. If you're a veteran, you can look into VA loans, you can look into FHA loans, or conventional loans. Typically, first-time home buyers don't just have cash sitting around, $300,000 cash, but you might. You might have saved it up, or you might have won the lottery, or whatever it might be. So we have a number of different ways that you can borrow money and decide how much money you're going to put down. If it's 20% or more, you can avoid the mortgage insurance. That lowers your rate a little bit. And then, especially if you're looking at a townhome or a condo, there's something called a homeowners association. And typically they have fees. And that fee is a monthly fee. Sometimes it'll pay for garbage pickup and trash. Sometimes it'll pay for your water and your sewer. A lot of times, most of the time, it'll pay for exterior care to your home if your roof is damaged or if there is some sort of issue with pipes leading into your condo or into your home. The HOA fee covers that. And also maintenance. So if it's landscaping as well as snow removal here in Minnesota. So all of these things are to take into consideration. So it's not just your mortgage, it would be your HOA payment as well. A monthly HOA payment would kind of fit into what you're going to be doing um, in your monthly expenses. So if you have any more questions about a first time experience in buying a home, or even if you're a veteran home buyer, no pun intended, give me a call, 651-402-6356. My website is tombullingtonhomes.com, or you can call me or text me at 651-402-6356. And I'm here. I've been doing this about 8 years. I love first-time home buyers, but I like any kind of buyer there is as well. I'm definitely equipped and well-versed in the industry, and I can help you out. So hope you have a great day and be in touch if you have any questions. Thanks.